Hi YouTubers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about psychological abuse. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and throw a little comment in there. Share it to your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, YouTube, wherever social media platform you are on right now. Share this video. We are going to talk about today psychological abuse. Psychological abuse. Okay? Welcome back to my nonprofit channel, Our Children Matter. And here we talk about mental health topics that are a detrimental thing to talk about with our young people and in our communities that we are in right now. Even through the pandemic, whether it be health related, whether it be psychologically related, whether it be mental health related, everybody is going through some type of problem and situation right now. So the best way to do it is to talk about it. And some of these conversations that we talk about or discuss on my channel, you're going to hear me talk about some topics that a lot of people are going through and a lot of people need to hear. But today's topic, what we're going to talk about, is psychological abuse. Okay? So it says, a pair of recent studies asserts that psychological abuse may be harmful as other forms of child maltreatment, including physical and sexual abuse. Although researchers describe emotional abuse of children as widely prevalent, it has not always been seen as serious or as damaging as other forms of maltreatment. Now, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes through my computer of what I typed up to say in the video. Okay, so guys, just don't think it's weird that I'm looking down, okay? Once I get my teleprompter, then I'll be able to look straight at you and read at my teleprompter. But for now, I have to look at my laptop, okay? So, how serious is psychological abuse? Emotional and psychological abuse can be severe short-term and long-term effects. It can have a short-term effect on you, and it can also have a long-term effect. It also depends on the trauma that you experienced in that abuse determines what the effect is going to be, whether it be short or long-term. Short-term or long-term. This type of abuse can affect both your physical and mental health. You may experience feelings of confusion, anxiety, shame, guilt, frequent crying, or overcompliance, powerlessness, and more. So let's ask this question. Is psychological abuse worse than physical? You may think that physical abuse is far more worse than emotional abuse, since physical violence can send you to the hospital and leave you with physical wounds. But emotional abuse can be just as damaging, sometimes even more so. Did you guys hear that? It said, but emotional abuse can be just as damaging, sometimes even more so. What does psychological abuse do? What does it do? How does it affect you? What does it do? Psychological abuse involves the regular and deliberate use of a range of words and non-physical actions used with the purpose to manipulate, hurt, weaken, or frighten a person mentally and emotionally, and or distort, confuse, or influences a person's thoughts and actions within their everyday lives, changing their sense of how they feel about themselves. What type of abuse is most damaging? Exposure to psychological abuse between parents is more damaging to the child's well-being as they grow older than physical domestic violence. According to new research, psychological abuse can include name-calling, intimidation, isolation, manipulation, and control. What does mental abuse do to the brain? Because child abuse, neglect, and trauma changes the brain structure and chemical function of the maltreatment, can also cause the effect the way the children behave, regulate emotions, and function socially. These potential effects include being constantly on alert and unable to relax no matter the situation. Psychological abuse can include someone regularly embarrassing you in public or in front of family, friends, support workers, or people you work with, calling you names, treating you badly because of the things you can't change. For example, your religion, race, past, disability, gender, sexuality, or family. What does abuse do to a person? Children who have been subjected to emotional or psychological abuse may continue to feel that its effects into adulthood. These effects include extremely low self-esteem, seeking bad relationships, and other physical and mental effects. There are resources available for people who experience emotional abuse to seek help. Is emotional abuse more damaging? Emotional abuse, neglect may be more harmful long-term than physical sexual abuse. Emotional abuse and neglect of children may have been more harmful long-term negative effects than physical or sexual abuse, according to a 20-year study published by the team of researchers in Iowa, Australia, and Italy, even in the United States. All over the United States. Okay? How do you prove psychological abuse? You can help prove psychological emotional abuse if you do not document the abuse someone else is suffering. You need to write it down, the dates that the abuse happened, the substance of the abuse, just as you would if you were the victim. Some people might hesitate to tell someone else that they have been abused. This goes back to being sexually abused. You don't want to tell anybody because the abuser might come after you or might intentionally try to harm you, or in this case kill you, or in this case try to harm you in any way. But it is best to tell someone about the abuse that you are receiving. Don't hesitate. Some people might hesitate to do it, but don't hesitate to tell someone. You always need to tell somebody. Maybe a close friend, a neighbor, a loved one, someone that you can trust. Okay? Someone that you can really, really trust to talk to them about what is going on when you experience psychological or emotional abuse. Okay, what are the 6 long-term effects of abuse? Maltreatment can cause victims to feel isolated, to have fear put in them, and distrust, which can also translate into lifelong psychological consequences that might manifest as educational difficulties, low self-esteem, depression, and trouble forming and maintaining relationships. So, what are the causes of psychological abuse? Let's look. The roots of psychological abuse are varied, but they are at least 5 causes that are intimately related to the aged, whether in family care or residential home care. Subjectivity, undue pressure, humiliating behavior, health problems, and exploitation. The subjective context determine any relationship. It says, yes, you can sue for emotional abuse. Attorneys across the United States recognize that emotional abuse as a cause of action, allowing families of those victims of emotional abuse in nursing homes to sue in response to their loved ones' mistreatment. Okay? So yes, you can sue for psychological or emotional abuse. Yes, you can. Because that person that is receiving that maltreatment, that maltreatment or mistreatment of it, will be dealt with accordingly. Those type of things cannot be tolerated because we know that people can get hurt and people can be physically damaged by what people are doing when they are mistreated in any type of way because of psychological or emotional abuse. That's all I have for you guys today on that topic. Check out for more topics on the mental health topic channel for Our Children Matter. Click that, remember to click that like button, hit that share button, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do to get this out, because people need to know about these things. Every topic that I've done on my channel so far has helped so many people in so many ways. Encouraging words last a lifetime. Okay, guys? I'll see you a little bit. Bye, guys.